Maintenance kind of sucks, but it's one of those facts of life. Because if you want to have fun with your vehicles, you also have to maintain them. And that's what I'm doing today here at the home garage. And I've got a list of things that have to be done on the various motorcycles. So they've all got their needs to be attended to today. But we're doing a brake fluid flush on this one. And that's what I want to talk about today, brake fluid flushes. And this has nothing to do with motorcycles specifically. This includes cars. It's the same thing either way. So the brake fluid flush, on the surface it seems a little scammy. It's like one of those cash cows that quick lubes and dealerships use. They'll milk you for a few extra bucks. Every 2 years, you better change your brake fluid or you're gonna crash and burn. I know, that's nonsense. Now, the concept of changing or flushing the brake fluid is not nonsense. We'll talk about that in a minute. But the reason why it has to be changed is, well, a couple of reasons, but the main reason is that brake fluid is hygroscopic, meaning that it absorbs water from the atmosphere. So over time, enough of that water builds up in the brake system that it'll start to create pockets of water that will boil or don't compress quite the same way that the brake fluid does, and you'll get a spongy pedal. Now, like I said, not all, this is why the 2-year interval is kind of nonsensical. Not the idea of flushing brake fluid, but just that 2-year interval. Because not all master cylinders are created equally. So some master cylinders seal perfectly, okay? No air. Once you've filled it and you put a lid on it, no air can ever get in there. So the idea of the brake fluid being hygroscopic and pulling moisture from the air, it's just not going to happen. Other master cylinders, especially on like the older cars that I deal with, like these older Mopars, they seal terribly. And some of them, like the ones with the plastic reservoir and the 2 caps, they don't seal at all. You might as well just leave the caps off, right? In that case, yes, over the course of a couple of years, enough water can build up in that system to really create a problem. But what they don't talk about in terms of like why the hygroscopic nature of brake fluid is a problem is that not only can it form pockets of water in the system, but that water will eventually migrate to the furthest part of the system. So the water is absorbed through the top of the master cylinder, through the lid, and a not perfectly sealing lid. It travels, molecularly, okay, very small bits of it travel through the whole brake system until they reach the calipers or the wheel cylinders, in which case they start to form rust and corrosion. So they'll kill a wheel cylinder or they'll kill a caliper. Very, very common with older cars. They'll dig an older car out of the woods, let's say, or a barn that's been sitting for 30 years, and the wheel cylinders are all locked solid. It's because the moisture that got into the master cylinder worked its way through and rusted the wheel cylinders from the inside out. So that's why it's important to do. So if you've got an older vehicle and you're not with a questionably sealing master cylinder, yeah, 2 years is good. If you've got one it's sealed, okay, and you know it's sealed, you go 3, 4, 5 years and it's fine. But here's another reason you need to do it, and it's one of the things we're going to do on this bike right now. So when you bring your vehicle in for a brake fluid service, they'll usually use the same procedure that they do if they're going to power bleed. So they'll use a power bleeding system to force the fluid through the system. It's faster that way. It's much faster that way. But for our purposes, you don't want to do that. Even if you have a power brake bleeding system, don't use it for the fluid flush. And I'll show you why. So I already started doing it on this bike. So you see, I've got some of the old fluid. So this is DOT5, and it turns that goldish color as it ages. And what we've done here, now this is universal for any brake system that has a master cylinder higher than the bleed screw, okay? So what we're doing here is we just open the bleed screw. We got this hose going to the water bottle, and now we're just going to watch as this thing bleeds down. Now this takes time, okay? So we got good drippage here, and that's what you want to see. Now, why is it important to do it with gravity instead of pressurized? Because by doing it with gravity, you can tell what the condition of the inside of the brake hoses are. So brake hoses will begin to collapse inside, internally, okay? And when they do, they'll cause the brakes to drag until eventually it'll cause the brakes to not release at all. And like I said, it's the same car, motorcycle, it doesn't make any difference. All of these systems are essentially the same. So when these hoses start to break down internally, they'll constrict. And if you were to try to gravity bleed like I'm doing right now, gravity flush, it won't happen. You'll open a bleed screw, you take the top of the master cylinder off so that air can get in there, and then nothing is going to come out of the caliper if there's any type of constriction in there. So in this case, we're doing great. We've got steady drippage. Now we got to get ready to start filling it up. So now these Harley Davidsons of this vintage call for a .5, which was, I just got bent over $17 for that, okay? Crazy, absolutely crazy. But this is what was local on the shelf, so I grabbed it. Now you can mix and match. All right, wait, no. You can mix and match, but for our purposes for this video, make sure you use the type of brake fluid that the manufacturer calls for. So in this case, it's .5. We got .5. That's what we're going to use. You can do a little Google search on what interchanges with what. But like I said, for our purposes, we're just going to put what belongs in there and there. Top this off. You see the new stuff is nice and purple. And now we wait. It's still flowing out of there. You just be patient with it. You just be patient with it. But what this is telling you right now is that this hose is good. There's no constrictions or anything like that. I don't have to worry about this hose. There's another one on the other side. So after I've got this one to where I know that it's taken at least all of the fluid in this line, this hose, this caliper, and replaced it, then I'll close this one and I'll do the other side. And like I said, the same for cars. The same exact procedure for cars. You top of the master cylinder off, you go to the furthest corner of the car, so the master cylinder is on the driver's side front. You go to the passenger side rear, open that bleed screw, and just let it drip. Let it drip, let it drip. Watch the master cylinder, and when it gets just, you definitely don't want the master cylinder to run dry. When it gets just to where it's just a little bit left in there, top it off, and just keep going until you know you've got that line completely flushed out. Close the driver's side, open the passenger side. You go to the furthest wheel back, and you work your way up to the front, the closest wheel to the master. So, and on this particular deal, I'm not going to be able to do that with the rear brake, because here the master cylinder is lower than the level of the caliper. But with this, I can reach around and actually like regular bleed it. You know what I mean? Like open a bleed screw, drop the pedal, close the bleed screw, bring the pedal back up. I won't be able to judge the condition of the brake hose that way, but that's how you have to flush a system where the master is lower than the level of the caliper. So let's check this again. Yeah, it's dropping nicely. I'll probably wait until that drops down a little bit more. And then I'll close the bleed screw on this side and go to the other side. So now it's really totally not exciting, right? And the stuff I have to do on these other bikes is even less exciting than that. But it's an important maintenance thing. And like I said, it's do it manually and you'll be able to judge the condition of other parts within the system. Also too, brake fluid, you'll get it come out sometimes, older brake fluid, and it's got that blackish tinge. That's also telling you that the hoses or the rubber components inside the brake system are degrading. So you open your bleed screw and you get a lot of black, that cloudy black come out of there, you know that it's time to change the hoses too. All right, guys. Now, I hope you got something out of that. I'll see you tomorrow.